question in related to that. A lot of seniors will tell us that what they value in Medicare Advantage is the holistic preventive care, because ultimately it identifies their risks earlier. It also helps with cost savings. Given that model of the value of Medicare Advantage, how do you see that connecting with what you're trying to do in the administration in MAHA?
One of the beautiful things about MAHA is that it forces you to be curious. That's actually the one word I use to describe the movement. Are you truly curious? Now remember, 80% of questions are statements in disguise. So we spend our whole life asking leading questions, which would never be allowed in the courtroom. I always mention this. My wife's not here, thankfully, so I'll say it because she gets mad when I do mention it. But in my house, the prosecution never rests. It's just continuous. But and in MAHA, you were supposed to ask real questions, not knowing the answer. It doesn't really matter if that's in my water. What's the real impact of microplastics? I mean, did that dye move the needle if I took it out? I mean, these are the questions you want to be asking. And so you need clever, thoughtful folks in the private sector asking real questions and seeking out those answers. MA can do that. MA has the tools. You have funding mechanisms. The benefits are flexible enough that you can actually go out there and begin doing things to improve the care of large numbers of Americans that are aligned with the MAHA movement. You don't have to do it. It's something that if I was running an MA plan, I would definitely want to explore. But there may be other places to best use your money, and that's exactly how it should be. It might be that the most important thing you do is, make sure that there's a water filter in the house. But it also might be you're better off just making sure they can afford their medications, so you buy down, the premiums. That's a very thoughtful debate that we can litigate in public. But fundamentally, someone who cares, number one, about that patient needs to figure out for that individual what's the right way to go. And I don't want to interfere with that. That is a perfect place for MA to show its opportunities. And when I start off by talking about, again, metaphorically, acknowledging that MA is still relatively young. So I don't think we may have a reduction this year, number of people enrolled in MA plans. That's not really the issue. The issue is, what can MA do? And I don't think MA will just walk. I do think it can fly. And to do it right, we have to have people like you, innovative thoughts with community leaders and folks in the provider space as well, engaging to figure out exactly how we use those scarce resources. But MAHA, again, the whole concept that we can make it easier to do the right thing in America, I believe is the main reason that other countries have lower healthcare bills than we do. There are other factors we can talk about, supply chain issues and drug pricing and the MFN issues that you've been reading about that the president's been so focused on will dramatically drop prescription drug prices in this country for branded products. But generics are already inexpensive. So we already have opportunities if we take advantage of them. But getting the ecosystem to gel, to get the bouillabaisse to taste perfectly, you need chefs who are innovative. And that's exactly what we want. So God bless you for having me here. I'm glad